Hi there, and welcome back to the HQ. Today, we are going to be reacting to which Team Fortress 2 Mercenary is the biggest war criminal by Bumble McFumbles. So, the last Bumble McFumbles video I watched was about which Punch-Out boxer is the biggest cheater. So this is a natural escalation of things. Of course, cheating in boxing into being a war criminal. And of course, Bumble McFumbles is really good video formatting, and it's just really funny too. So, and plus also, I haven't done TF2 in a minute. I'm still trying to find a good condensed video that breaks down the last comic, too. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into this and see which one of our lovely mercs is the biggest war criminal, shall we? So who is it? Which one of ya?
Team Fortress 2 might have sneakily become one of the most influential games of all time.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's either heard of TF2 or sunk a decent amount of time into it.
Or played a game that was directly
a bit of gameplay. You might have even played a game with TF2's fingerprints all over it. Like any team-based shooter in the last decade.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I mean, it's why I continue to say that TF2 is the original hero shooter, and is the one that basically inspired most of these games that come after. Like Overwatch, Marvel Rivals. Hey there, Dante Selves. Welcome to the HQ. At least I think that's how you pronounce it. I gotta pull up my stream manager on my other screen over here. Dante Selves. Welcome to the HQ, and welcome to the chat. But yeah, pretty much like TF2 is the inspiration for pretty much every hero shooter we have on the market now. And I had a whole short about it, and it's on my YouTube and my other various short form socials. But yeah, like, if you want to see the DNA of pretty much any hero shooter today, just look at TF2.
And go, TF2 persists. Why is that?
You know, no matter how much
constant support from Valve?
The constant. Oh, everybody in there laughing.
Nah, but seriously, what I think makes TF2 stand head and shoulders above the rest of its genre is its character. Other team-based shooters will give you characters with deep and complex motivations as to why they're fighting, intricate character webs that try to tie together a massive world with just a few representatives.
Honestly, I prefer it like, what I really don't like about that in particular, about, you know, trying to make this big world with all of these intricate characters and intersplicing plots, but at the same time, you don't make like an actual PvE or like campaign or anything like that, and you just put it out with like trailers. It's like you tell your game's story through nothing but like 2-minute trailers on YouTube. And it's like, why don't you make something that tells that story in the game? Huh?
TF2 is about 9 people who vaguely tolerate each other when not outright insulting one another.
Scotland is not a real country. You are an Englishman with a dress.
I am owning you, you fat, bald, fatty, fat.
This is
very well spoken, Scout.
Make me cry.
You got a Boston bad boy with a penchant for doing more damage with his mouth than with his gun. A faux Australian who's just as likely to turn your brains into wallpaper as he is to piss on you. And a
oh yeah, that's very true.
One-two combo you with explosive grenades into Claymore. All of these characters
Jesus.
endear themselves to the general public to the point that you might forget the fact that each and every one of them is a violent sociopath who has killed before and will kill again.
Yep.
I feel like the babification
Absolutely.
of these men kind of takes away from the fact that they are contract killers.
Very much.
And in some cases deliver a fate worse than death. So I got to thinking, which TF2 character has committed the most war crimes?
That's a very good question.
The label of a war crime sounds really heavy, but
there's a lot. Just watching these, just watching their intros, just watching them meet the team. There's a lot of war crimes going on in there.
So to lay some groundwork, we're going to go off the definition of war crimes as defined by the Red Cross.
Okay.
See, if we go into exactly which crime each merc commits, it's gonna be kinda difficult. For instance,
lay it
it's
out.
illegal in war to shoot an enemy who has shown themselves to be of no threat without a way to defend themselves. At the end of every round of TF2, the opposing team is made to be big crybabies who you can mow down at your leisure. It's also a big no-no to fire on medical personnel. and that would just make pocketing soldiers and heavies even harder to deal with.
Yeah,
so I can't
true.
easily measure each war crime in terms of action. What about the only other thing that has as much personality as our beloved mercenaries? Their weaponry! In the rules of war outlined by the Red Cross, there are 11 distinct classes of weaponry that are not allowed in war. We'll go over them one at a time and judge their loadouts based on what weapons they possess that would be counted as a war crime. First up is serrated weapons. Serrated weapons, like a modified bayonet, cause undue suffering to someone unlucky enough to be stabbed with them, and as such, they're banned from conventional warfare. Now, the exact...
I mean, really, you know, thinking about, like, war crimes and stuff, it's like, your whole mission is just to kill the enemy. So why do you think somebody's actually going to follow, like, war crime conventions whenever their end goal is to just make the enemy not alive anymore? It's like, that's always been something that kind of sticks with me. This kind of, like, sticks in my craw a little bit. Because it's like, yeah, it's good to have rules of engagement like that, but at the same time, who's going to follow them? Like, who is going to follow those? Like, it's just one of those things that kind of just, like, confuses me sometimes.
Definition on what counts as serrated is a little hard, but I feel confident in my ability to use my eyes that I can tell you which is which.
Yeah.
First person to break the rule is Pyro with a sharpened volcano fragment.
Oh.
Yes, to TF2 fans, you must be asking how the volcano fragment is considered a crime in any other realm other than game design. Well, those ridges along the blade mean that whatever little more damage is done is more than necessary. After that, we skip a whole 3 classes as medic comes next. The stock bone saw and amputator are both by nature serrated.
Yeah.
They are saws after all.
They are saws.
The use of such equipment is already contentious, but for this rule, it's even worse. Snipers, tribesmen, shivs, and spies, Black Rose, both fail in this category, which means
it is serrated.
With Pyro, Sniper, and Spy all tied for second. That is, except for the secret bonus war crime, thanks to the all classes item, Pretty Blade. Thanks to Disgaea, everyone here is getting an extra 20 years at least added to their prison sentences. After that is barbed weapons. While you normally associate barbs with barbed wire, the definition of barbs is simply an additional piece of metal that assists in the tearing of flesh.
God, I do love a good Cactus Jack match, though. Like, Cactus Jack back in the day, Mick Foley, oh my god. I went, one Halloween, I was taking my sister out to go trick-or-treating. She was in a very shoddily made Peridot costume made by yours truly, with nothing but green painter's tape and cardboard. And I was dressed up as Mankind. You know, complete with, like, the ragged button-up shirt and a mask made out of cardboard, duct tape, and a lot of Sharpie. I was huffing Sharpie all night. You can probably guess why I have brain damage at this point. But yeah. Cactus Jack, Dude Love, Mankind, Mick Foley. No matter what persona you take, you are a gem. Especially if you're Santa Claus.
So for something like, say, Scout's Boston Basher, that would be a barbed bat, seeing as those spikes aren't meant for hitting home runs.
Obviously,
well,
yeah.
The sun on a stick has a bunch of nasty spikes for filling someone with more holes
it's the sun. It's the spikes on the sun on a stick,
which they share between each other. If a giant railroad spike was enough to punch a hole in a human body, the bunch of jagged, bent nails would definitely send the right message.
That'll do it.
Has the obvious one of the axe extinguisher. It's very literally just an axe with barbed wire wrapped around it.
Jeez.
But I'm willing to stretch the definition of barbed for the back scratcher.
That's a rake.
Raking with a rake will happen whether you mean it to or not.
That's just a rake.
I really went back and forth on if the warrior's spirit counted, since it's bear claws that will definitely tear up the body, but they're not metal.
That's true.
Ultimately, I gave it to him since it's not like he's going to do much with those 20 years of freedom anyway.
Yeah.
He's also going to get it anyway for the eviction notice being a pair of spiked brass knuckles.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
NG's
Spiked
Southern
brass
Hospitality
knuckles.
has incredibly useless spikes on the side that have no chance of ever hitting somebody. But it shows up in the kill icon, so it counts.
Yeah, it has spikes, so...
We can actually eliminate the next 3 categories as they revolve around expanding ammunition, explosive rounds, and poison. For all the weapons in the game, none of those descriptions fit. Demo's pipe bombs aren't round, they're lobbed projectiles, so they land in a whole different group altogether. What is illegal, however, is a weapon meant to inflame your wounds. What exactly this means in terms of TF2 is a little hard to define, but I narrowed it down to the few items that make your opponent take more damage. First is beloved returning madman Pyro and his gas passer.
Okay, so basically just any weapon that does like lasting like chip damage afterwards. Okay. I see what you're doing.
This dented gas can is actually breaking the laws of warfare by making your opponent take more damage from Pyro's flamethrower. Also, if Pyro wasn't in the inflaming category, I'd have been really sad. I mean, come on,
Yeah,
it's not like
that's
there's a fire category
that's
coming up.
kind of their
However, the key to
thing.
making things go from bad to worse is Sniper. The yellow
Oh?
belt master of Girardi flings it with reckless abandon, making you more vulnerable and waterlogged with another man's piss. Not only does the opponent's
Girardi.
entitled weapon utilize this stuff, but the rifle the Sydney Sleeper will coach you in it from long
Oh.
range. So now both Pyro and Sniper are getting
Imagine
up there in
getting
terms of
shot by
violations of human
piss
rights.
bullets. Oh my
Chemical warfare
god.
is up next. Putting somebody through the periodic table is a big no-no, and there are only 2 mercenaries who this
That's
applies
true.
to. Pyro's getting called back into the principal's office again as a repeat offender, as the gas
Damn
in
it,
the gas
Pyro.
master is a chemical and illegal. However, that doesn't hold a candle to the real master of chemical warfare.
I sure hope
See,
not.
The medic
Like
uses a
the
variety of
medic,
chemicals
like
in
I
order
sure
to
hope the
utilize
medic
his
is on
strongest
top of
maneuver,
this.
the Uber charge. He'd be
Oh.
lucky if Meet the Medic was all that existed to explain the origins of Uber charge, but sadly NATO leaked the original work in progress Meet the Medic, where we see the concoction that keeps these junkies on the battlefield.
Oh?
So whatever, Uber charge is breaking a few international laws. It's not like he's got a bunch of weapons tied to it, right? How many?
So it's made by Scout's blood, a bottle of Sniper's piss, and what else was floating in there? Bruh.
So that means that every single one of Medic's weapons tied to Uber is in some way a war crime. That means
Jesus.
every Medigun, the Uber Saw, the Vita Saw, Overdose, and Amputator are all grave breaches of international law.
God
Because
damn.
of that, Medic shoots way past everyone else.
Of course, Medic is the biggest war crime.
And more like this. If you thought the
Like,
last
of
section
course
might have
Medic
been a
commits the
bit of
biggest war
targeted
criminals.
bullying, wait till you hear about this one. Anti-personnel landmines, you already know where this is going, are outlawed in combat. Being a bomb meant specifically to injure or kill a person is a no-go. Now, is there any class you can...
How is something that's specifically meant to injure or kill somebody, like, how is that not legal in warfare? Also, hi Levios D&D, welcome to the chat. But yeah, like, war crimes, like, war criminal statutes just don't make sense sometimes. Because it's like, we're not out here, like, pillow fighting. It's like, I don't like war. I just don't like war in general. I'm very much a peaceful person. But it's like, whenever you really get down to it, like, war is just all about, like, just killing the enemy. So it's like, why, like, if a landmine is specifically meant to kill somebody, like, I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, somebody, if you can explain it in the comments down below, like, feel free to, because I'm at a loss.
think of that uses bombs to kill people in particular? Why, yes, I can. I think there is one.
There is, in fact,
Scout!
one. Oh,
Yes, in
Scout?
the official definition of anti-personnel landmines, they include a description that talks about bombs meant to disperse broken glass along with shrapnel.
Oh,
Like the broken glass that the rap assassin launches when it hits an opponent with a bulb.
Oh.
Now, who'd have thunk that that little speedster could have snuck in a shot in a section meant for Demo Man? Yeah,
Scout,
so you
you
can probably
doing it
guess
all.
Demo Man is kind of the star of this part of the list, as sticky
Yeah, that's
bombs
true.
by their nature are anti-personnel landmines.
yeah, true.
Considering they also damage buildings, though, you might be tempted to give them a break, but no such luck. The primary
Nope, no
purpose
luck.
of these things is to turn people into chunks.
That's
That
very
means the
true.
Sticky Bomb Launcher, Scottish
Ooh.
Resistance, and Quickie Bomb Launcher
Very good.
all land our Demo Man in hot water. You may also be asking about the Sticky Jumper, but that actually can't deal damage to enemies, so it's not anti-personnel. Just all you want, Demo. There are 3 other examples I
Okay.
want to go over for the sake of being a pedantic
Ooh,
jerk, however.
10 frames.
Iron Bomber is a primary grenade launcher meant to have a low-roll limited range bomb. So it fires
Okay.
bombs that don't explode very far and stay still when planted.
Huh.
Kind of like a mine.
Oh.
The TF2 wiki even refers to the strategy as such, so I don't feel bad about this one. And
Okay.
why not? The bottles Demo Man has can break and would leave glass. My list, my war crimes. Maybe don't try and glass people in a war zone next time.
Yeah, what? That
Next
not a
up
good
is
idea.
nuclear armor.
Not a good idea.
Obviously, it's not very kosher to try to nuke people, especially with a weapon you can hold in your hands without protective gear.
Yeah, that's
Not like you're gonna live
that's
long
not
enough
very
to
good
do that
idea.
anyway. So you may be asking what nuclear weapons there are in TF2, and the answer is one that I kinda had to play with.
Oh?
So we know for a fact that the Gordbot weapons like the Calmangler and Thompson are indeed nuclear weapons, but they seem to be the only ones that mention that fact.
How are they nuclear
However,
weapons?
Because of the weapon's special property that they disintegrate whatever they kill, I'm willing to extend the definition that any weapon that causes a disintegration is a nuclear weapon.
Oh.
With that information, please let
That's
me know.
interesting.
What class do you think has the most nuclear arms? Would it be the hysteric and crazed soldier? The man of science medic? Pyro?
I'm gonna guess NG.
Well, it would probably be Pyro? Or what about...
Oh?
Yo, what's up?
That's right, Scout has 6 unique...
Scout back at it
I
again?
suppose, sort of unique weapons. Let me explain. So, in terms
Scout,
of disintegrators, that
the
includes
nuclear
Scout's Capper
man?
and the Beat Saber, as well as all 3 of his drinks, the Bonk, Criticola, and Mad Milk, are either drinks that have been irradiated or made with radiation. And
Dog
if you know Scout's
has
loadout, you know that the
radiation
soda popper
drink?
is a force of nature that's had a can of Criticola taped to it, making it by extension a radioactive weapon.
Bruh.
So you'd expect to be dumb enough to have a nuclear weapon only has 2 in the form of the Calmangler and Righteous Bison. Pyro is in a similar boat where the very innocuously named Man Melter ends up melting man,
Oh.
as well as the
That is
Phlogistidae.
very much
Fans of
indeed
WM Pyro are
melted.
shambles by this news. Engineer, like I said, has the Thompson and shares Scout's Capper.
Oh, also, the short circuit. I definitely included the short circuit. And I'm recording this on the Tuesday before the video goes up because I forgot about the short circuit that can disintegrate enemies. Definitely don't forget about that. Lol, love you all.
And the sniper has a
Oh,
variation of the
God.
Machina, the shooting star. Next is weapons that were made at home, and you have no idea how hard it was to judge
Oh.
this category. So if the rules of war were meant to help regulate combat in order to stop people from tearing each other apart like feral raccoons fighting over a wounded
So
squirrel,
DIY
a weapon that
weapons
hasn't
are
been
also
approved by
illegal
any
then?
government, much less military company, is a big problem. But you see, it's not that easy. Basically, the problem I ran into was with weapons like the Back Scratcher, Neon Annihilator, and Hippocrates Oath.
Yeah,
Obviously,
that's
these aren't
just-
weapons. They're things
That's
being
just
used
like-
as weapons.
yeah, that's
But
just
does
like
that
things
count
you
as a
can pick
homemade
up at a
weapon?
Home
Does the
Depot.
misuse of a common object mean it's being remade into a weapon? I spent
That-
literal hours mulling over if it does or does not count.
I mean, I feel like being able to identify what is or isn't a like actual weapon, it's not that difficult of a thing to discern. Like, if it looks like something you could buy on like a guns at like a gun shop, then if it's not something like that, then it's probably not like a regulation weapon.
The decision I came to was that yes, if the weapon was never intended to be used as a weapon of war, then it's something that would be illegal.
Yeah, like a double barrel shotgun
Instead,
with
starting
soda
with the
strapped
Scout,
to
we
it.
have the modified weapon of the soda popper.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Easy, because it's taking a weapon that is totally fine and just taping a can of illegal soda to it. Then you have to go to his melee weapons for the rest. The holy mackerel is just a fish wrapped up in a newspaper.
That's just a
Not only
fish.
is it an illegal weapon, but it's also wasting food. The candy cane and the rap assassin are
Sanji
both
would not
best
like
holiday
that.
accessories that the scout is using to beat people to death. And trust me, the fact that the candy cane drops health packs made me almost not count it. But this was during like hour 3 of me figuring out if it was going to be counted or not, so it's going in. Soldier gets lumped in as well, as the pain train is just a stick
Oh.
with a railroad spike and some nails
Yep.
put into it.
That-
And
that's
a
not a
rare
weapon.
in-lore homemade weapon. The
Oh.
publicity blurb on the Beggar's Bazooka says that Soldier made it himself. The demo man not only has Soldier's pain train,
He
but
made his
bombs were
own
never meant for
bazooka?
combat,
He
no
made
matter
his
what you
own
hear from any
bazooka?
gun bar in Scotland.
Huh.
His other weapons are even more interesting, though, as the Nessie's 9-iron is a piece of sporting equipment that just so happens to be the proper length necessary for a bludgeoning. Finally,
Okay,
the Charging Targin is the only shield that isn't a shield. The other ones demo can use.
He
were all
bought a
designed to be
tide
shields.
turner to make up for
Charging
the
Targin, while
mistake.
part of the best demo loadout, isn't a real shield, just a ship wheel that he strapped to his arm. The Heavy made his weapon at home in the most metal way possible by
Those are
ripping the
just
paws
bare
off a bear and
hands.
strapping them to his own to make the warrior's spirit.
He deadass made the warrior
Asked, by the way,
spirit
since
out of
we're
bare
at it,
hands with
you're
his bare
probably asking
hands.
about NG's buildings. He says that they're designed by him, built by him, and by that logic, wouldn't that make them homemade?
That
Well,
is a good
no,
point.
because the buildings are simply his creation that he brings to the battlefield.
Oh.
He got his buildings officially licensed by Manco since they can be built from the PDA. That's
Oh.
like saying the man who invented the AK-47 wouldn't be allowed to use it in battle.
Huh.
However, Medic... Ooh. Like I said before, Medic invented Uber, and you'd think I could make the same excuse for Medic that I just made for NG, right?
I
Well,
guess not.
Not quite. Since we see Medic make his Medigun, we have conclusive proof that he made it at home.
Oh.
By extension, you could probably say that all Mediguns and all Uber weapons we mentioned before are in the same boat as well.
I suppose
On top of
so,
that, the
like-
bust I mentioned
so-
earlier, and Medic has already had the most banned weapons so far.
So, NG stuff is all homemade. And I guess regulated by Manco, so it's all good. But Medic stuff isn't. Okay. I mean, I would have figured he would have run it by Manco, but then again, probably not. I mean, mm, yeah, probably not.
It's almost a little silly to mention anybody else after that display, but we're still talking about it.
Okay.
The Razorback is a shield that has a car battery attached to it. The Cozy Camper is
Oh.
just his backpack from his first day at school, and the Girardi is most certainly homemade.
Oh,
On
yeah.
top of that,
It
Spy
is
has
definitely
one item from home.
homemade.
That being the bit of ice hanging on his rearview mirrors from his car that now he's aligning spines with. And that's all the classes.
Wow.
I mean, there's one other one, but like, it's not even a big deal. Like, who even plays him? Not me,
Oh.
obviously. Like, I probably don't have like 0 hours put into that character. So let's just move
Oh.
right along. And, okay, you got me. I skipped Pyro. So this is a case like the Beggar's Bazooka where we have in-universe confirmation that the Pyro uses a homemade flamethrower. That's bad enough on its own. But what's worse is that his other flamethrowers are variations on the original flamethrower, and that means they're modifications of the original homemade flamethrower.
So
And
all of his
first
weapons are
primaries
banned?
Alone, the flamethrower, degreaser, and backburner are all automatically big no-nos.
Jesus.
That's not all. Nostromo's Napalmer is a double whammy.
Oh?
Not only does it fire napalm as the name suggests, but the weapon itself is based on a flamethrower from Aliens, which in and of itself was homemade. Even the Rainblower! The Rainblower is a weapon Pyro made in his imagination. The Flog and Dragon's Fury only escaped this category
Everything?
by virtue of looking too well made for Pyro to have made them himself. But that's not all. Heavens! no. On top of his primaries, he has the Detonator, which is a modified flare gun, and his melee weapons. Oh God, his melee weapons!
Everything.
Extinguisher, an axe wrapped in barbed wire, power jack, a car battery on a stick, Neon
Bruh.
Annihilator, back scratcher, postal punisher, all stuff he just picked up off the ground. The lollipop isn't even real. So yeah,
It's just a
Pyro
giant
is
lollipop.
making a massive problem for himself because he just won't let people make weapons for him. But at least
Bro
now,
wants
after
all
this
his own
funky
weapons.
weapon shenanigans, we can get on to the final. Oh my God. Oh my God. The new TF2 update! Oh my God, there it is!
A new
I haven't
update?
updated this game in half a decade, but it's finally here! Finally, let me see the changes!
What is it?
Okay, oh yeah, they made the sharpened volcano fragment deal 100% more damage to
He worked in
spies cloaked as other spies. Nice, nice! Oh, they made the lock and load make every demo man who uses
Heavy no
Hell
longer has legs.
limbs, so they actually need that crutch! Oh, thank God! Oh, yeah! Incendiary weapons.
Huh?
Are outlawed in war? Oh
Oh.
God, oh man, oh God,
Oh.
man, oh God, oh man, oh
Incendiary weapons are outlawed in war. So everything in Pyro's arsenal?
There are a few different weapons that are affected by this change. For instance, the Hulong heater creates a ring of fire around the heavy. Gotta keep those pesky spies away. Kind of like the particular weapon used by the soldier. Cow Mangler can inflict afterburn, which means it's incendiary and therefore counts as a fire weapon. Kind of like the flame-throwing weapon like the Huntsman, who can have its arrows set on fire with the torches in the environment, and
You are really... You just gotta get it over with. Just get it over with.
so it would be kind of rude to go over all the pyro weapons that this ban affects. If you were to make a build under these parameters, Pyro would not have a primary, would only have the shotguns, jetpack, and gas patch to use as secondaries, which is both redundant and insulting, and worst of all, you would lose access to the sharpened volcano fragment! I don't want to live in a world where that's happening! So just like the last category, Pyro has 12 weapons that fit the rules of
Everything.
warfare. Giving him
Just-
more war crimes in
just
this
take away
one
everything.
category than
Take away
some
all the
categories
guns.
all. Fitting, seeing as they're a psychopath. I mean, not like the other
Yeah,
psychopath,
he is
but
in fact a psychopath.
Slightly more Let's just get on to the next part. So while the
Yeah.
weapons have been thoroughly combed through, there is one more section of the TF universe that I feel like has ripe potential for crimes. The
Yeah?
comics.
Oh!
And no, I'm not talking about the fact that they're unfinished.
Well, thankfully, they're finished now. Thankfully, they're finished now. But it's interesting. We're going back to the comics now to find war crimes.
Which is a crime in and of itself. Valve, stop making technology that people outmo within 20 minutes of getting and make a game. Any game.
Oh.
That doesn't count, you know it.
Oh,
Thankfully,
the
someone else has taken a
apathy in
break
that
from blowing bubbles
room.
with their spit long enough to think of the same idea, and Sir Reginald III on Reddit has gone through painstaking detail to count the crimes across the comic, and I'll present them to you now.
Oh.
Scout has been known to stalk and make advances on women, including girls on the track team for a high school he did not go to.
For a brief stint in high school, Scout joined the track team in one of his many schemes to pick up girls. He was kicked off the team after 3 days when everyone realized he was 23 years old and also not enrolled in the school. What the fuck, Scout? What the fuck? Bruh. Scout? Scout, why don't you take a seat right over there? Let's take a seat.
While being over 18, and they were under 18. This was supposed to be a fun video. Let's watch him die again. He's also guilty in assisting in the murder of Santa Claus, which it's kind
That
of
he
funny
did.
to hold this one murder to higher scrutiny than the other ones, but I want a PS5, and if Satanic can't get me one because he's 6 feet under, I'm gonna raise some hell about it. And he also mentions that the mad milk isn't milk.
The Scout's mad milk is stated as not being milk. I'll let you figure out the rest. Oh my god. Weaponized jism.
And it could count as sexual assault, but I refuse to think that Scout is hawking love custard at his opponents.
I wouldn't doubt it.
The restock clause
I wouldn't doubt
that
it.
Thing. Soldier. Genocide.
Yeah.
Wait, genocide? How? He's one guy! Well, following World War II...
Though he wanted desperately to fight in World War II, the soldier was rejected from every branch of the U.S. military. Undaunted, he bought his own ticket to Europe. After arriving and finally locating Poland, the soldier taught himself how to load and fire a variety of weapons for embarking on a Nazi killing spree, for which he was awarded several medals that he designed and made himself. His rampage ended immediately upon hearing about the end of the war in 1949.
Soldier went to Germany to eliminate Nazi scum. But it seems he wasn't ever told that not every single German person was a Nazi and began indiscriminately murdering civilians. Since he was exclusively targeting the Germans, this falls under the purview of genocide. On top of that, you got him breaking and entering into Tom Jones's house, as well as the
Rip
murder of
Tom Jones.
for murdering Tom Jones.
Rip Tom
Also
Jones.
assisted in the gangland assassination of Father Christmas.
Very
Pyro.
true, yes.
If
Oh.
you can believe it, the pyro may have set something on fire.
Oh, yeah.
That's mainly down to them having the diagnosis.
Okay, well, not technically that one. That one was
The
not.
pyro may have
That one wasn't Pyro. That was Soldier and Miss Pauling.
set something on fire.
But he certainly
That's
set some
mainly
other
down to them
stuff
having
on
the
fire.
diagnosis as a pyromaniac, meaning that they would have had to have set something on fire in order to get that distinction.
Very
Demo
true.
Man doesn't have too much, actually.
Oh.
Worst you have him down for is public intoxication.
Yeah,
Same
that
with
tracks.
Heavy. As long as you don't count escaping the Russian gulag that he was trapped in and murdering all the guards, thus
Okay, well, that's actually kind of commendable. Good on Heavy. Good on you. Good on you, man.
becoming an enemy of the state of Russia. For the time that the game is taking place in, though, I'm pretty sure that's a net positive. However, being a Russian at all does mean that history's grumpiest grandpa, John McCarthy, will slam him with his signature move, McCarthyism, landing him at least 5 years in jail. Engineer is the
Back when it was basically a crime to be Russian. McCarthyism, it's not a fun time.
most boring class to play. So, of course, he has the most boring crime of corporate espionage. Just stole some weapons from Blue Man. Oh, boo-hoo, boring. Moving on.
Oh,
Medic.
the stole
Oh, well, we don't even have to go into the
Here we
comments for
go.
this one, as Medic admits to losing his medical license and is therefore illegally practicing medicine.
Yep.
I also guess that negates the point from the beginning where you can't fire on the medic. Gut him down
Yeah.
all you want.
He's not a
also
medic.
profiting
He
off
doesn't have a
stolen
license.
Goods, as he's in possession of every other merc's souls. And speaking of those black market goods, like his immortal human soul, his wide variety of animal parts were no doubt gotten through illegal means.
Oh,
he's also
obviously.
guilty of kidnapping, as he took a random thug and turned him into a pumpkin.
He turned him into a pumpkin. At this point, where do we draw the line from medical science to magic? Like, at one point, do we just kind of, like, have to accept the fact that Medic is he's not a scientist or a doctor, he's a mage. Or I guess a warlock, really, when you think about it.
Somehow the pumpkin part is totally above board, but the kidnapping is disgusting.
Obviously.
Sniper is a lot of things, but a crazed gunman is not one of them. He's an assassin. And he
Yeah.
probably should have admitted that, since that's a big crime to kill people for money. He's also creating homemade booze, since he slips Demoman his own homemade moonshine. Then what else Sniper is making in those jars, I wouldn't drink it regardless.
Yeah, not a good
Speaking of
idea.
that, dousing someone with your own piss no doubt falls under indecent exposure, as well as public indecency.
Very
It's
true.
also no wonder that his parents are disappointed in him. He's wanted for attempted murder rather than flat-out murder, as he doesn't succeed in killing Miss Pauling and Demo when they come to find him.
Yeah.
Finally is Spy, another contract killer who not only kills for money but also in self-defense when he gets sent to prison.
I mean, at that point, God, dude, shanking him in the back with his toothbrush of all things.
He steals intelligence from both red and blue team, threatens to murder a judge, launders money, and one of the key items, the disguise kit, allows him to impersonate anybody and steal their identities.
Identity
This includes
theft.
Tom Jones, and as a result, Tom Jones, or rather the estate of Tom Jones, would
Yeah.
have grounds for the misuse of his
You know, because
image.
Tom Jones is dead. Wow. So it wasn't even the mercs that had the most war crimes. It was just the weapons. Okay.
Now is time for the main event! Which of these men will die in prison? Starting off with the lowest and going up, 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 last place with only 6 crimes is Heavy.
Wow. So the one you'd expect to have be pretty up there on it is the lowest. Okay.
Assuming he gets the minimum sentencing for a war crime, which is 20 years, that means he's got a 120-year sentencing.
120 years. He's the lowest.
Landing him 160 years.
160?
Inexplicably Spy with only 10 crimes and a clean 200 years.
Okay, 200.
His job is to not get caught, and he wasn't caught.
Very true.
Equally surprising is Soldier with only 14 crimes and 280 years in prison. The next 3 have 15, 16, and 17 crimes each, with Demoman, Scout, and Sniper each getting 300,
Jeez.
320, and 340 years in jail, respectively. Then, with a shattering 25 crimes, is Medic.
Of course
who
it's Medic.
gets sent away for the next 500 years. Finally, with the massive 35 war crimes,
35.
who will go to jail for the next 700 years.
700
All that
years.
jail time, and assuming they don't get the death penalty, the Mercs will be in jail for a combined 2,920 years. Or, as some of you may have noted, more time that has passed since the birth of Jesus Christ.
1 crime, 3 days. Now we know all the mercs are going to die in prison. If they're just not outright executed, that is. God, no need to even bother with counting all their war crimes, because they've all committed enough crimes to be put away for life. Whew. Let me know down in the comments who your favorite merc is. Personally, like, if I had to pick between them all, who my favorite is, it's a toss-up between Spy and, I guess, Scout. Scout seems fun. It reminds me, I still have to watch Expiration Date too, so I'm going to put that on the list as well. But yeah, let me know who your favorite merc is down in the comments below. I'm sure I've asked that before in the Meet the Team video, but tell me again. And of course, don't forget to hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and ding that bell, so you know when I upload, and it helps me out in the algorithm. And as always, I will see you next time at the HQ. Bye-bye.